Like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who can bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GGD Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Ticket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth off LGBT. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, you guys. So salute everybody for tapping on in. Like, share, and subscribe as y'all come on in the building. And we're going to get right into this, man, as the federal government has just released their sentencing memo on Sean Diddy Combs right now. And they are basically asking for over a decade in prison. They're asking for between 108 to 135 months, which is 11 years, 11.25 years in federal prison for Sean Diddy Combs is what they're asking for. And basically, as you guys can see right here on the screen, it says throughout this case and over the course of a 7-week trial, this court has seen extensive evidence demonstrating the defendant's criminal conduct perpetuated across more than a decade. At trial, the defendant disputed that the government had made out particular elements of the charged federal offenses, but he largely conceded to his conduct, the violence, domestic abuse, drug use and distribution, and bribery. The defendant will not be punished for any crimes of which he was acquitted, of course, but punishment for his crimes of conviction must take into account the manner in which he committed them. His crimes of conviction are serious and have warranted sentences over 10 years in multiple cases for defendants who, like Sean Combs, engage in violence and put others in fear. Consistent with those cases and based on the collaborated or corroborated evidence presented at trial, this court should impose a sentence of no less than 135 months in prison. A substantial term of imprisonment is also needed in this case because the defendant is unrepentant. Incredibly, while the defendant conceded his acts of violence and abuse throughout the trial, he now argues that his victims should shoulder the blame. The defendant tries to recast decades of abuse as simply the function of mutually toxic relationships, but there's nothing mutual about a relationship where one person holds all the power and the other persons end up bloodied and bruised. Indeed, in connection with sentencing Cassie Ventura, who along with multiple escorts were transported across state lines by the defendant for multi-day freak-offs in connection with count 3, of which the defendant was convicted, writes to the court that freak-offs were degrading and disgusting, leaving her with infections, illness, and exhaustion. Cassie became addicted to the drugs and the defendant provided for her. And this goes on and on and on. It's 164 pages. So they have asked for at least, let me say this again, at least 11 years in prison. At least. So I knew they was going to go up in the time for what they wanted for him. And now the judge has a decision to make. I'm going to come in later on today and go through the absolute full documents because they're out now. Again, it is 100 and 30 something pages. Now, let me go through this right now for you guys. Hold on. Shout out my boy Diddy Docket, man. Let me go through this for y'all right now. Right, get this to y'all. All right. So basically, you guys, as we go through this entire sentencing, right, which they've asked for 135 months. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And this is just, man, I mean, this is crazy work. I'm going to go through all of this tomorrow, you guys. Uh, all of this paperwork, right? Because this is unbelievable. 164 pages. That they've asked for at least 11 years. And they have all of these things documented. Bruises, pictures of Cassie bruised in here. Pictures of Cassie's face. They've added pictures in here too of Cassie. Pictures of the hotel event. Pictures of Cassie getting her face busted open by Diddy. Um, yeah, they went in on this one, man. And now the judge is gonna have to go through and read all 164 pages. Wow, unbelievable work, man. Um, they talked about the $20,000 Diddy forced her to take out her family just to get that tape back. All of these things they're showing that he used, basically to transport these women and do what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? They're showing emails where she says she don't want to be effed and mistreated. I guess Jane Doe. A whole bunch of stuff, man. Um, let me see. Let me see. Man, a whole bunch of stuff, bro. Bro, I'm gonna go through all of this tomorrow, man. This is crazy work, bro. I mean, later on today, excuse me. This is crazy work. It talks about how Diddy abused others. It talks about all these other people who testified throughout the trial, right? It even talks about Gina in here, right? Um, they've even included Gina in here, even though Gina refused to testify. They've included her situations. Um, that's crazy work, man. They got all this stuff. I'm looking through the papers right now, you guys, and I'm skimming through, and I'm only got to page 39 of 164, you guys. This is crazy work. We're gonna go through all of this tomorrow, man. We're gonna go through all of this tomorrow, bro. I can see this right now. This is crazy work, y'all. It talks about calculating the guidelines range. The court should consider all relevant conduct that establishes the offenses of conviction. I mean, they got everything here, bro. Everything. Man. So they've asked for at least 11 years on this guy. They say there is no constitutional impediment to considering acquitted conduct at sentencing. It says again, there is no need for the court to reach constitutional issues raised by the defendant. While the defendant asserts repeatedly that he was acquitted for the conduct of underlying the government's proposed sentencing guidelines range, he fails to explain how his guideline calculation is inconsistent with the jury verdict. Barring any such direct conflict with a necessary finding of the jury, it is impossible to know exactly why a jury found the defendant not guilty on a certain charge accordingly. Without specific jury findings, no one can logically or realistically draw any factual inferences about the government's evidence. They going in on Diddy, right? Damn. Damn. Let's see. Yeah, bro, they going in, bro. I said they going all the way in. So they're basically, shooting down Diddy's sentencing guideline arguments. They're showing different cases here. Um, this is bad work right here, y'all. Y'all smash the like button. Y'all come on in the building, man. Smash the like button. Share the video. They're asking for at least 11 years. At least. You understand what I'm saying? Let me say this again. At least 11 years. At least. Right? Um, let's see. Man, bro. Crazy work, dog. They want enhancement for seriously bodily injury. Man, they asking for all these enhancements, bro. It says that if the court does not apply the threats and fear cross-reference, multiple victims of fraud or coercion enhancements apply. Man. They still blacked out stuff in this writing. I don't know if they must still be investigating Diddy because they're still. Let's see. Still got to be investigating Diddy because they still blacking out stuff in this writing, you guys. They have to be still investigating Diddy, man. They're still redacting things in this paperwork. There ain't no way you can tell me they're redacted. They redacted a lot of stuff on page 71, page 72. They're redacting names. This is, for instance, blank statement that he never accepted money in exchange for sex is patently false and disapproved by Cassie's testimony, Jane's testimony, and text messages between her and defendant Bleep. In the statement Bleep that he was paid for time. They're talking about a sex worker, y'all. They're Xing out these sex workers' names. I think they're coming back on something with these sex workers, bro. That's why I think they're Xing their names out. I think they're coming back on something with these sex workers and charging Diddy individually against all these guys. I think that they're going to come on something wicked on this dude, bro. That's just what I feel. I got a feeling that they're coming with another indictment on this dude based off just me looking at these papers. They want enhancements for defendants aggravating role, vulnerable victims, and obstruction of justice. They're saying that applies. Enhancements for organizer leaders applies, right? They're naming all these people. Fahim, Christina Coram. Man, they going down all these people names. Bro, they going in on this paperwork, bro. I'm looking at all this stuff, y'all. Crazy work, man. They want enhancements for obstruction of justice. Man. Bro, they going for it all the way right now, y'all. They said that Diddy does not qualify for acceptance of responsibility points because he hasn't accepted responsibility. Man. Crazy work, y'all. They going in on Diddy, man. It says Diddy does not qualify for the 0-point offender reduction under 4C 1.1. Man. Yeah, they got all this, bro. This is 164 pages, y'all. They said Diddy is not entitled to significant downward departure based on the cumulative effect of the guidelines enhancements. Wow. They hammering this dude, bro. They hammering him, man. I'm looking through all this paperwork, man. They said Diddy's conduct warrants a term of imprisonment of at least 11 years. Damn. Damn. They say at least 11 years. At least. That's crazy, bro. They're saying, yeah, they keep saying at least 135 months, which is 11 years, at least. So they're probably looking between that and 20 years. At least 11.25. And I'm thinking the maximum they're going to say is 20. Just me looking through this paperwork right now, man. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. And they going in. I mean, they explain all this stuff. 164 pages of straight cooking. Man, this is crazy work. They bringing up everything. They said the need to avoid unwarranted sentencing disparities mandates a substantial term of imprisonment. Man, man, they made sure they shot down every point Diddy brought up in this thing. It said the 14-month sentence sought by Diddy would create, not avoid, a sentencing disparity. Right? That's crazy work, man. Yeah, they want at least 11.25 years on this dude. That's crazy. Mm. They gave examples. Bro, I'm looking through this thing, y'all. I'm gonna come back and read this thing completely for y'all tomorrow. They going in on Diddy, man. They said Diddy is significantly more culpable than the other Johns prosecuted by the Department of Justice. So they're basically saying Diddy's a special case, man. This dude right here is on a whole level of his own, which is why they're asking pretty much for these circumstances. They say the need for specific and general deterrence to promote respect for the law warrants a substantial term of imprisonment. Man, they just keep saying no less than 11.25 years. That's the least. They're saying that's the absolute least. That's crazy work. All right. They said he'll say anything with no regard for the truth, as long as he stands to benefit. For instance, in May of 2024, when the video surveillance assault of Cassie leaked, he first took to Instagram to claim he took full responsibility, went to therapy and rehab, and asked God for mercy and grace. The defendant then committed to be a better man. Barely 1 month later, after the defendant committed to be a better man and fully aware that he was the subject of a federal investigation, he kicked down 5 doors in Jane's home, lifted Jane off the floor by her neck in a chokehold, punched her in the head, kicked Jane's body, dragged Jane by her hair, and slapped Jane so hard she fell down, and then invited an escort over for a hotel night. Clearly, therapy and rehab did not work in March 2016, and there's no reason to take the defendant at his word that he has adequately addressed his addictions and mental health issues while spending barely a year in an institution that the defendant claims erroneously, as explained below, is so violent and inhumane that he deserves a reduced sentence. Rather, the court should seek counsel's representation for what they are: lip service. Man, they destroying this nigga Diddy, bro. They destroying this dude in his writing. And I'm just skimming through. I ain't even get deep into everything they saying in here. That's crazy, bro. You know, they say the history and characteristics of Diddy warrant a substantial term of imprisonment. They going in on this dude, bro. Diddy's arguments for a lenient sentence are unpersuasive. Conditions at the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, do not warrant a lenient sentence. Man, bro. Wow, that's crazy. And they still Xing stuff out. Talking about his medical record. They say his psychiatric evaluations are unreliable and don't warrant a lenient sentence. Wow. That's crazy, bro. Mm. Yeah, they Xing stuff out in here. Wow. Yeah, last chance the light y'all come on in. They say Diddy's personal circumstances don't warrant a lenient sentence. Wow. They say the court should impose a maximum financial penalty to reflect the seriousness of the offense. Right? So they want at least 135 months, which is 11 years, 11.25 years at least. And they want him to be fined the maximum possible amount of money. Man, they did it, y'all. I mean, wow. Crazy work. Hold on, y'all. It says the parties continue to discuss forfeiture. What? Let me see something. What? They get forfeiture too? Yeah, they want a sentence of at least 135 months, which is at least 11.25 years, y'all, is what they're asking for Diddy. That's what they're asking for. Y'all can hear me? Hold on. I'll do all of it tomorrow, man. They're asking for at least. Hold on, y'all. Let's see what the hell I'm doing. Why in the hell is my thing open on multiple? I think we good now. Can y'all hear me? Press one if y'all can hear me. Yeah, y'all can hear me? Yeah. So they're at least asking you guys I've skimmed through all the pages. They want at least 135 months, which is 11.25 years at least. It seems like from what I'm seeing with the redactions and stuff like that, that they still may be working on something else against this dude. But yeah, they want 135, y'all. That's what they want. So Diddy's gonna get, in my opinion, between the 80 something and 120 something, or 135 something, or unless he goes over that, he might. But you never know. He might give him 100 months. He might give Diddy 10 years and give him 10, same 10 Shine got. Like I told y'all before, you know, he might give him 10, same 10 that Shine got. He might give Diddy. It's crazy work. He's not getting 20. If the judge goes at 20, man, I mean, he is really ticked off because the government, federal government, only asked for at least 11.25 years. So I mean, they could say at least, but they didn't give a maximum of how much they wanted. They didn't give a range. They only said at least 11.25, basically 11 years. If I look at the judge from now, from the two that they got, I see the judge giving them 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I see the judge giving them 10 years. Yeah, I see. They talked about Gina in this paperwork. Whoever just asked me about that, I saw it in the paperwork. They talked about Gina in the paperwork. No, somebody said, "Do I think Gina testified?" I mean, you never know, but again, they don't. They put Gina in that paperwork. I just saw her in that paperwork just now. Right? Everybody asked him about the new trial and the what you call it, and or the throwing out the acquittal. The judge is probably going to read this and then decide what he wants to do. So I think he definitely going to read this first. But I got a bad feeling for Diddy. I think them feds is creeping up his ass. I think them feds coming with more smoke for this dude. That's just what I think. I think they coming for way more smoke with this guy. I think this guy's in big trouble. And I think they coming for more smoke with him. That's what I think. Yeah, I think the feds, man. I'm just keep it real with y'all, yo. I think they working on a new indictment on this dude. That's just what I think. Cause they still like redacting certain stuff, and I'm gonna go through that tomorrow. But they still redacting certain things, and it's just certain things I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Um, you know, certain things that I'm seeing, and just keeping it real with y'all. I'm seeing certain things, you know, that's in that paperwork, and I'm just looking like, man, you know, are they gonna come with new charges with him with Mann Act for the males? But I just got a feeling they got something up their sleeve. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is it. Not based off of me skimming through that paperwork and seeing some of the stuff that's marked out. Nah, I don't think this is it. I think they still got something else they got up their sleeve, man. But they damn sure put a lot of things up there, man. I mean, they got a lot up there, y'all, as far as stuff they trying to hit this dude with. So they definitely want him to be jammed up at least for a decade. You know what I mean? At least for a decade. They want him to be jammed up. Natasha, salute to you. Come through. $150 donation. I appreciate you. And the Cash App. She said, I hope he gets 20. It all depends on the judge now. You know what I'm saying? The judge could feel like you never know what the judge gonna do. You know, but I know one thing: the judge don't believe Diddy. I know that for a fact. He don't believe this dude. He's seen the evidence. He don't believe this guy. You know what I'm saying? He see through Diddy, and that's bad for Diddy. And all the stunts that his lawyers and them pulling, it's like they ticked off the judge, and the judge just taking his pretty time. Remember how the judge told him he coming back shortly? Shit, he ain't coming back shortly. The judge taking his time on this. That's facts. And you know, Diddy, he burning up every day. Diddy sitting in there because the sentencing is getting closer. He burning up, man. And they talking about he want to talk to the judge directly. I think they're gonna let him talk to the judge. I think the judge is gonna let Diddy have a word. You know what I'm saying? Now the close, I don't know, but I definitely think he gonna let Diddy have a word, and then I still think he gonna do whatever he gonna do. You know, I think he gonna tell Diddy how he really feel about him. You know, and we'll see. You know what I'm saying? But if Diddy gets a new trial, oh, they're gonna hit him with all these new charges. Watch what I tell y'all. Watch what I tell you. You better bet that. If he gets a new trial, they've already probably got ready 8 or 9 more Mann Act charges on Diddy. I'm guaranteeing y'all that. That's what they doing. I guarantee you. You said you ain't get no notifications? Yeah, I mean, y'all guys stay subscribed to the channel and ring that bell. Y'all ain't ring that bell. You gotta ring that bell. You know? Yeah, so, I mean, 11.25 years. Hmm, you know, and they got a lot of letters. I mean, they got letters that's to the judge. Dante Nash, he wrote a letter and said that he don't want no leniency in time for Diddy. Deontay Nash wrote that judge and said, man, don't get his food. No leniency. You know what I mean? At all. Kathy said, I hope your decision considers the truths at hand that the jury failed to see. Right? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. They definitely going in, y'all. This is not a game. Deontay Nash, the gay stylist, you know. Somebody said I sound like I'm feeling sorry for Diddy. Man, nigga, you better get off my page talking that dumb shit. You must be out of your damn mind. Yeah, you talking about I feel sorry for Diddy. Are you a damn fool? Hey, you know, only nigga that's out here going against this dude like that. You could talk about something. You sound like you feel sorry for him. Man, sit down and be quiet. You don't lost your damn mind. I'm the only one that's out here. I'm the only brother, pretty much, that's out here going hard on this dude like this. These are facts. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Brothers is mad at me because I'm going in on Diddy. What the hell is you talking about? Some of y'all people ain't got no brains, man. It don't make no sense whatsoever. You know how many people I really got that went against me just because I stood on business against this dude, and I stood up for what was right because I know that this dude is a scumbag. Don't make no sense whatsoever. The dude is scum. How many more times you want me to say it? I don't feel sorry for this bum. I'm just telling you what it is. I waited up late because I knew they was gonna file late, but I didn't know they was gonna file an hour late. So I'm a little bit tired. You gotta give me that type of. I be bringing all this content. People think you're supposed to be just 100%. Yeah, 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 all the time. I'm giving you this content because it's real. Because I'm real. I could have waited and went to sleep and then woke up and did this. Nah, I wanted to get y'all this as soon as it came out. Because I told y'all I was going to do it. Straight up. I told y'all this. Y'all don't hear nobody else stand on business like I'm standing with this punk. This dude right here, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, just no respect, man. at all. You know, and that's all there is to it. Shout out to whoever just said they're gonna send a donation, man. Appreciate you. Desire and fire. Salute to you already. Everybody been showing love anyway. Sending channel love, man. I appreciate y'all. It's going down on Friday if the judge don't call it off. If the judge don't call it off, it's going down on Friday. Now, what do I think now? Since they said at least, because they didn't even give a time range, they just said at least no less than 11.25 years, right? So them saying that, let me think. Um, them saying that, I truly believe you guys. With them saying that, hmm, let me think. Uh, I think the judge goes 10 now with 3 supervised released. That'll be karma if Diddy got 10 from this judge. The same 10 Shine did. He got to come back decades later and do 10 himself. Man, you know, I don't think the judge goes to 15 because you got to think the probation office said, what, 87 months? Diddy's legal team said 135. If the judge goes in between, if he kind of goes and leans towards the government, he can go 10 on Diddy. He can go 10 years on Diddy. You know what I mean? He can go 10 years and then boom, you know? I mean, Diddy gone for a decade. You see him back out, he'd be an old ass man by the time you see him again. He may be 67 years old. You know what I mean? Prison do a lot to you. Take a lot out of you. You do a decade in that joint. And you older too? Yeah, man. No doubt. You said, what about 14? It's all on the judge now. It's all on the judge now. You know? Straight up. Daphne, you already know what it is. If I tell you I'm gonna come through, I'm gonna come through. That's just facts. I just felt like the people just, you know what I'm saying? They deserve that. They deserve that. You know what I mean? They deserve that. The people deserve that. Right? So I love all y'all too. Y'all be supporting me. So yeah, man, the people deserve that, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey Shay, salute to you. I appreciate you coming through. $75 donation. Um, in the cash app. Appreciate you. Yeah, if y'all want to donate, the link's pinned at the top of the chat, man. Y'all get the cash app, PayPal up. Let me know what y'all think. I came in here just because I told y'all I was gonna come in here. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wanted to pack it up too tonight and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I said, nah, I told the people I was gonna come in here tonight. Then when they didn't file by midnight, I was like, damn, they ain't filed. I was like, they ain't gonna file. And then I waited. I said, let me wait another hour. Boom. Then they filed. But I believe they got a new indictment they working on. That's what I believe. Because they still redacting stuff in this paperwork. You know what I mean? Shout out to the girl Lydia coming back through in the cash app. Salute to you, baby. Yeah, man. You know, um, Yeah, it is what it is. I had to, just speak on, you know what I'm saying? I had to speak. Hey, I had to speak on. I, I had to speak on what I felt, you know, and I just wasn't feeling the shit that Diddy was doing, man. I wasn't feeling that shit, man. The same way I told y'all, I didn't feel that stuff with Shakari Richardson, with other people wrote. I'm not a dude who like dudes who move like that, bro. I don't respect niggas like that, bro. And Diddy came out off the top capping, so I already knew he was on shit, right? I already knew it that he was on bullshit. The way he came out capping, right? You say goodbye to what? Hey, y'all hilarious, you know. But yeah, I think he gets significant time. That's why, if the judge upholds it and it goes to trial, I mean, it goes to sentencing on Friday. Yeah, he's going. I think he's going to get around 10 and up. You know, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. People's going in on him, man. They don't want the judge to have no leniency on this dude. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all like the video. Let me know what y'all feel in the comments. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, there are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there. You can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drop weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.